What on earth is NASA management spending our billions of dollars in taxpayer money on? You may have seen the headlines go around the world this weekend on how NASA has once again canceled another mission to go to the moon. And this, of course, involved the Prospector Rover mission, which was going to conduct experiments as a direct precursor to sending human beings to the moon once again. In this video, I have a few really interesting points to make about this situation, and I'm also going to share with you the actual person involved in NASA management who canceled this mission. Now, like I said, NASA scientists are absolutely shocked that this mission was canceled, and they received no explanation as to why. All they were told is that this same rover and the instruments on it will be included on the next mission to go, so, oh, don't worry, this will get done. It's just that we don't have any type of future date or planning mission of any kind on when this will happen. And by the way, this is despite an order signed by President Donald Trump called the Space Policy Directive 1, which involves sending humans back to the moon and to Mars. And regardless of what you think about President Trump, this is far more than the presidents have done over the last few decades. I mean, if you look at how President Obama canceled a mission to go back to the moon himself, he also canceled the space program in its entirety, as we now have no shuttle mission of any kind. But this isn't to blame any specific president. They're all involved. I mean, even look at President Bush before Obama, how in 2006, he did significant cuts to NASA. But he himself stated that, don't worry, this is going to help get humans back to the moon by 2018. And here we are in 2018, now canceling future missions, and we have no intention of any kind, no date, like I said, of going back to the moon. And this goes further back than President Bush. Even look at President Clinton. Look at the date on this, 1995, and how Clinton reduced NASA's funding. And you can even find articles about this from 1981 going back to President Reagan. Are you guys starting to see a pattern here? Oh, we're gonna go, and they just keep canceling it, and canceling it. And here we are in 2018, and we have no date or mission of any kind to send even a rover to the frickin' moon. And this is despite outstanding questions that still exist about our moon, including the origins of it and how just a year ago, scientists have discovered that the age of the moon is significantly older than they ever thought, possibly older than our solar system itself. And you may have heard me discuss in other videos other unusual things about our moon, such as the fact that they have discovered uranium-236 as well as neptunium-237, which has never been found naturally on Earth. So this, of course, raises many questions. Also, the topic of lunar transient phenomena, which is something that most people have never even heard of. And this dates back a couple thousand years even, where people have witnessed lights flashing on the moon of different colors, not just white, red, but also green. This photo right here, just so you know, is from Columbia University. In fact, this was even witnessed by the Apollo 11 astronauts on their way to land on the moon for the very first time. Basically, what happened was back here on Earth through telescopes, we observed green fluorescent lighting on the moon as we were approaching it for landing. And when NASA called out to the astronauts, they got an immediate response from Michael Collins indicating that they had seen this as well. Now, one explanation is that this could be volcanic activity of some kind, but it does raise questions on why green lights have been observed. But we do know that there is volcanic activity within inside the moon, and our seismographs that we have placed there have indicated moonquakes, which raises many questions. I mean, is the moon not dead after all? And this, of course, ties into how so many people believe that we never went to the moon at all, and it's a pretty high percentage of people. It's larger than most people realize. And this is something that I'll definitely have to make a video on in the future. I'm gonna have to spend some time doing a lot of research to really dig into it. People need to realize that not everything's black and white. It's not necessarily about have we been there, have we not been there. I think the real questions are, what did we find there, and when is the last time we have been there? I mean, there are some weird things about the Apollo missions, and although I think that we went to the moon, we have to ask ourselves, why on earth did NASA delete the Apollo 11 tapes of its trajectory? And they said that back in the 80s, due to budget cuts, they had to essentially reuse the tapes. But it's like, wait a second. You deleted the Apollo 11 tapes on us going to and from the moon? You couldn't find any other tape to delete, so you're like, okay, let's just delete the tapes that involved the very first moon mission of people landing there ever. That doesn't really make sense. And when you also combine it, like I've discussed in other videos, the Apollo 11 press conference, which was the most awkward thing you've ever seen in your life. Go watch this on YouTube, by the way, where the astronauts were just, man, they just seemed depressed and just not wanting to be there. It was the most unenthusiastic thing I've ever seen. So let's get back to NASA management and how we're just not going back there, because we could debate the moon missions till we're blue in the face, and again, I'll make a video on that in the future. Who is NASA management right now? Well, look at Jim Bridenstine, who was appointed by President Trump. And what I didn't realize by reading all these articles about this canceled Rover mission is that this guy just assumed office a week ago today, April 23rd, 2018. But yet when you look at when these articles came out, look at that, April 27th. So this guy takes his position on a Monday, and then by Friday, the mission had been completely dumped and canceled. His first week on the job, which I thought was incredible. And then I dug, well, a little bit deeper and I discovered that, wait, the people on this mission within NASA were told on the 23rd that the mission had been scrapped. And it wasn't until the 27th that the headlines had made the news. So the very first day this guy's on the job, and despite Trump signing a bill to instruct NASA to go put humans on the moon, and all of a sudden he just scraps it entirely, and the scientists themselves weren't even given an explanation. Who is this guy? Well, it turns out that he's a politician, and I had no idea that there was so much controversy when this guy came on board. I never even heard that he came on board. But people were griping about how, well, yeah, he's a politician, and there were some interesting things that when they were overlooking his appointment, he had deleted his YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter accounts, all while he was being looked into. So this guy's shady. President Trump, if you're the real deal, wanting to send us back to the moon, fire this guy, or at least discuss publicly what the true intentions are, because why on earth did this guy cancel this mission his very first day on the job? Anyways, guys, leave me a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on all of this, and also hit the like button and subscribe. But I'm Jimmy, this is Bright Insight, and I have many more videos to come on a whole wide variety of topics. Take care, everybody.